Hello, this is Wolfgang, and this is an entry into NickVT Lock's 200 subscribers giveaway. We're going to discuss the most useless lockpicking tools that I ever bought, so let's get into that. Now, before I show you my most useless tools in my lockpicking inventory, we will congratulate NickVT Locks going past 200 subscribers on YouTube. Guys, if you haven't checked out NickVT Locks' channel, please go ahead, visit his channel and subscribe to him. He has great content starting from tutorials for beginners, how to pick specific security pins. He picks cutaway locks, demonstrating how to position your picks inside the lock. Great content, really. He also discusses some more advanced topics, such as creating challenge locks, which is not such a common content on the internet, so check it out, guys. NickVT wanted to know what is the most useless tool in my inventory, which I will show you in my next slide. He also wanted me to tag my video with the NickVT locks and NickVT 200. So we'll do just that, and let's move on to the next slide. What are the most useless items in my lockpicking inventory? This will be controversial, so if you don't like to hear this, just close the video right here. But jokes aside, my first target would be these large pick sets with over 30 tools inside. As a beginner, you definitely don't need any of these pick sets, in my opinion. The reason is half of the picks inside are rakes, which are fun at the beginning, right? But later on, as you move up in the ranking, especially in orange and green belt, you'll learn that raking just doesn't work in some of the security pins that you will run into. Other than that, the bidding on some of the locks will not allow you to rake them that much. Now, of course, there's a rationality behind getting many hooks or many profiles of hooks, like the flat hooks, the round hooks, the gem hooks, and the monkey paw, I believe. And I mean, they are something that you can experiment with, try them out in different keyways, see what they feel like. Getting also different gauges at the start might not be that good of an idea, because at the start you have these nice wide keyways that you can work with. You don't really need an 0.4 millimeter hook to get into a paracentric keyway, right? Unless you start out in green belt or somewhere even above. And my first pick set was one of these Chinese lockpick sets. Now, these Chinese lockpick sets, they come with only a few hooks and lots of rakes and many kind of useless turning tools. While in the case of multi-pick, you get some nice turning tools, which like to fall out from the casing when you transport them, so I keep them in one of those zip bags. This is something that I learned the hard way. So losing turning tools is kind of easy when it comes to multi-pick leather cases. Something that reviewers rarely point out in their reviews, in my opinion. Back to the Chinese lockpick sets. Again, these come with these nice acrylic see-through locks that you can pick, and this was one of the reasons that I got any of these Chinese lockpick sets. I even got two, one of the lock cowboy ones, and then later on a bigger set, more acrylic locks that you could even cover up. Yeah, they were fun for a very short time, but I managed to get over them in about a few days, and then I gave them away. Not a bad investment if you want to give it to somebody as a gift, because they only cost like 70 euros. Not a big investment compared to buying a huge multi-pick set, which could be several hundred euros or $700. Just dish out. Now, the next topic is even more controversial, because Nick was asking for tools, not really locks. But believe me, when you start out, you definitely want to steer clear from some of the locks that I have on my list here. And the first one is the ABUS 84MB, or my lock, an aluminum lock, which has very light standard pins inside. They are probably made out of aluminum as well, along with the core. Not great picks, to be honest with you. They just feel mush inside, no matter how you tension them. Not great picks, in my opinion. Same for the ABUS 4 series. Anything above 30 millimeter is kind of hard to pick because of the feedback that these locks give you. Feels like mush inside. There's no real tangible feedback that you can work with. And at the start, you really, when you don't have the right sensitivity, the right ability to feel the pins, right? When you're still struggling with picking the warding, positioning your pick, these locks will not advance any of your skills, in my opinion. Now, some of the bigger ABUS for TI locks, for TI 60 and the 50, have bigger keyways, so those are kind of a little bit better than the 40mm ones. But then again, I would definitely just buy a cutaway lock and practice on that for your white belt. Cheap Chinese Schlag cylinders like the SC1, some of these marks and other trademarks, I just don't like these locks too much, because of the different tolerances that these locks are manufactured with. It is very varied. You could get a lock where you can just pick like 2 or 3 pins and you'll have an open lock in a couple of seconds, whereas you have like 5 or 6 pins inside. So yeah, not the best locks in my opinion. But then again, these are still better than the aluminum pins in my opinion. Now this one will definitely be more controversial than the rest of the content that I brought to you. It's the Yale 1000 and the Yale 1500 dimple locks. Now these have standard pins inside and they just don't feel right when you start picking them. If you want to pick dimple lock, definitely stay clear of these at the start. Go back to them later if you really want to. But in my opinion, you can just skip these, and instead of getting these locks, I would get one of those repinnable practice cutaway locks, multi-pick, or maybe the ones from Barebones, and put in some standard pins over there, and you'll get much more and much better feedback in those locks than in these Yales, in my opinion. Instead of these, you can also buy the Yale Superior or the Platinum, or kind of similar in price to the Yale 1000, the 1500. Or if you have more money, just go for the multi-lock 7x7 or the multi-lock integrator. Now, I want to show you what these locks look like, so let's move on to the next scene. Alright, welcome everyone. This is Wolfgang from Vienna, and today we are going to look at some of the most useless white belt locks or beginner locks that I bought. Let's start with the ABUS series. So definitely the ones that I really don't like are these 64 Ti or Titanium series. One of the worst locks in my opinion when it comes to feedback and picking. And they all come with pretty badass fitting. I just wouldn't recommend picking these as your first lock, that's for sure. But yeah, once you got through, I don't know, maybe orange or green belt, you could come back and try your luck. But I just really don't like these. The pins in these feel like a complete mush, to be honest with you. Other than that, they are pretty light, so judging how much you lift the pins is kind of an issue here. So yeah, the 64 Ti and then the 84M or the MyLock series. These are something that I also don't really like. Now this one I think I picked. This one I haven't, because of this strange bidding right there. But yeah, I mean, it's probably doable. I just couldn't care really. Not the best yellow belt locks, that's for sure. This one, on the other hand, the 64 Ti30 only has 4 pins, and these are amazing for raking. Also, single pin picking is not as bad because you only have to deal with 4 pins. Instead of these, I would definitely recommend getting these instead, which have a little bit more pins. And these still have the aluminum pins, but these have these locks. The 60mm wide and the 50mm wide have these nice big keyways that you can work with. I like these a little bit better. You can block this entrance here with one of the keyway tensioner, and then use a top of the keyway tensioner to tension the lock and then just use the buck tensioner to block that area so that your pick doesn't fall down and block the core from turning. So these two, the 50 and the 660, are definitely a better alternative in my opinion. Let's move on to these Mannersmen or Brüder Mannersmen locks. These are also found in the white belt category. What is this, 413.40 and the 413.50 or BMRS locks. Now these have really tiny keyways, look at that. It's wide enough so you can pick it, but the pins are pretty small and the bidding tends to be pretty hard as well. Definitely something I wouldn't recommend for a white belt lock. In my opinion, I just had the worst time picking these. The Master Lock M1 or M3 are definitely miles away, but better than these. Yeah, other than that, I got some SC1, so Schläge 1 cylinders. These brass Schläge 1s from China. And another one, the Marks MARKS, that's how you spell it. Has this nice bidding, 6 pins. Very interesting pick, by the way. Depending on how you tension it. These aren't that bad, but when it comes to quality, the quality is kind of varied. So this one has a much better feedback. This over here with the SPP on it and the 2 strikes on the side. I picked this one twice using single pin picking, while this other one I was thinking I would use it as a donor, because picking this one, when you tension this lock, it just feels like mush inside. One of the worst picks ever, to be honest with you. Same for these over here. Not the best picks. I picked these as well. Even raked them, I think. But these have these skeletonized body. Not the best picks. The Re-key or I-key security. Yeah, let's move on to some other locks that I have here. When it comes to dimple locks, I was thinking that these Greenbelt Yale 1000 and 1500 would be good candidates. Unfortunately, it turned out they weren't that great. I really hated picking these. The feedback on these is just the worst, and I think you can even rake these because of the many standard pins that are inside. I would definitely recommend getting the superior or the platinum over these, because these don't give you much feedback, and I'm not sure why I bought these, to be honest with you. Definitely not the worst picks when it comes to dimple locks. And then when it comes to worst dimple locks, we have some Chinese ones which are even cheaper than the Yale 1000 or 1500. So these also feel cheap when you go in with the key. Same for some of these Schläge locks, right? You pull it out and push it in. So this one is kind of okay-ish. Let's check this one. Yeah, this one feels very cheap. So not much resistance as you push in the key or pull it out. That's kind of a sign that there might be standard pins inside, and the tolerances might be pretty high. High meaning you can do almost anything to the lock and it will open. So yeah, not the best way of figuring out whether your picking technique is correct. Same for these Bivintechs. So they just randomly open because of the tolerances, the pretty bad tolerances on these. What else do we have here? Some more dimple locks again from China. This is a Jerry-up. I think these can be raked as well using a dimple rake. This one's unranked. Same for the Bivintechs. this one as the black one and has a very cheap feel to it. 7 pins. Then we have this C-Box from the UK, also not the best. Very simple keyway there, but it also feels very cheap. Not the best lock, definitely. Another one from China, again very cheap, feels cheap when you pull it out or push it back in. The key that is. I just wouldn't recommend picking these. It's just a waste of time, to be honest with you. They don't provide much feedback, and the lock just randomly opens once you push down some of the pins. Yeah, not great. Instead of these dimple locks, if you want a good starter dimple lock, definitely recommend the Master 11 series, the 1145 and the 1155 or the 65, or the 2940 or 2950. Those are definitely better candidates. If you want the ultimate white belt lock, what I would recommend is definitely some cutaway locks. Like these are high quality Euro locks, cutaway. These I got from Wendt, and these feel amazing when picking them. You can also observe the pins while you're picking it. One of my favorite locks. It's standard pins, but it gives you feedback. So definitely, I mean, this could be the ideal white belt lock in my opinion. If you don't have access to Wendt, because you're from the USA maybe, you could get one of these cutaway locks. I believe these are Chinese made. I got them from Amazon, but these also have pretty good feedback, by the way. So also not a bad pick, but the quality might vary though. So be careful when you buy Chinese locks, especially cutaways. And if you got the money, you could get one of these from Australia, the bare bones cutaway locks. Comes with its own repinning kit, its own keys, right? It's halfway a pin tumbler and halfway a dimple lock. So you have one cylinder, which is this side over here. It's a dimple lock, and this one feels amazing when you operate it with the key. So definitely high quality lock. Same for the other side. Look at that, amazing. It has this nice Schläge keyway, so yeah, definitely a good buy, but it costs some money, that definitely. So this one's definitely one of the more expensive colorways that I own. And then we have the most expensive ones, which are these multi-locks in different orientations and then different profiles. So what is that called? Different locking mechanisms. So this one has a dimple one, a dimple core. This one has a pin tumbler core on the other side as well. So it's like a mix of both. And then we have these pin tumbler versions. So both sides have a pin tumbler, but one side is covered up while the other one is cut away like that. Let me just show you. There we go. And this is the Euro version, so you have to pick it like this. You can also turn it around, but if you want to record the picking process, you'll have to place your camera to the right side, of course. But yeah, these come with tweezers, the key, and some security pins which you can put in. Also some standard ones and some key pins as well, so you can completely re-key the whole lock. And there are grub screws on both sides, so I think these cost like 70 euros or 60 or something like that. Very expensive, but it's a good starter kit. I picked one of these for my white belt, one of these multi-lock cutaways. And these are made in Germany, and I believe the one that I picked had default pinning, so it had security pins as well. But since you can look at how the security pins react while you're picking, it's not that big of a deal actually. But it gives you a very good entry into the world of lockpicking, that's for sure. Anyways, this is everything for this part of my video. Let's move on to the next part. And if you made it this far, then I thank you for watching my video. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. I think I only need like 1 or 2 subscribers to reach 50 subscribers on my channel. And also subscribe to Nikriti's channel if you haven't. This has been Wolfgang from Vienna. I'll see you guys next time.